ed speaker for the morning, who is a final year medical student, Stuart Henderson. And Stuart is part of the steering group for a pilot project we're running on student interprofessional Schwartz rounds. And if you have never been to a Schwartz round before, then they are a safe, reflective space to come together for an hour. There's usually a theme. And it's not about thinking, what could we do differently or what could we do better? It's just thinking, what does the day-to-day job that we do and our learning, because we're all learners too, what impact does that have emotionally and kind of socially? And so I heard Stuart tell this story about the power of a thank you during his GP placement during the first part of the pandemic. So I've invited him to share that story with us today. So I just invite you to, as Romy said, put down anything else that is distracting you potentially at the moment, and just listen to Stuart's story with sort of kindness and curiosity, and see what it brings up for you. So over to you, Stuart. Thank you.
Thank you. Can you hear me okay? Good. Thanks very much, Rennie, and thanks for inviting me to speak today. I must say I feel pretty seen this morning. I've just finished my Wordle, and I've been obsessively following the number 10 drama on Twitter, so I do feel a bit obsessed at the moment. So yeah, I just wanted to tell this story. I think it sort of resonates. I found it resonates with a lot of healthcare professionals, actually. And it's just the power of that a thank you can give you. I've been placed with a GP in Streatham last year, and that was during the sort of height of the pandemic. So as I'm sure you're all aware, most patient interactions have been virtually and on the telephone, and then that obviously impacts our learning because we don't often get to see patients day to day. So when one day in March, we were me and my partner and the GP trainee that we sat in with, we had a lady who had really severe constipation that was causing her really significant pain. And the GP trainee invited her to come in for an in-person, face-to-face consultation. We sort of introduced ourselves to her at the door, made sure she was comfortable to come in. And I just sort of, it made me realise how daunting it is as a patient to come in, especially a female patient with some, personal, quite, difficult problems, and be faced with two male students, a male doctor in full PPE with mask, aprons, gloves, and it's quite a daunting prospect. She also was extremely anxious to be seen face to face, and had two masks on and her own pair of gloves. And I think it was sort of obvious at first that it was going to be quite a delicate consultation. She was obviously uncomfortable at first, but we sort of, eased her in and gained consent to sort of talk to her about this problem that she was having, the worries about it, the fact that she was really nervous about COVID generally, and anxious to go to hospital, and even anxious to come face to face to see us. And we ended up examining her, and she was, in real pain, but we found that it was actually quite a quick fix. She was just constipated, and she could be given some laxatives and see how things went. The best thing about the consultation is we started at this point of anxiety and distress and worry, and she left with a smile on her face. She was happy. She was joining in with sort of jokes about talking about Drano and clearing out the system and things like that. And we sort of formed this rapport that was really nice. And it's really good to see someone leave a consultation with a smile on their face and with that sort of confidence that if something does happen, or if something gets worse, they can always come back, or they can always quickly call the GP or have a quick video consultation or whatever's necessary. And so I was really happy about how the consultation went, I thought this was a really nice thing to reflect on. I think that went really well, and it's nice to have that feeling that something went well once you've done it. And then we came in the following week for our next day of placement, and the GP presented us with this card that she'd written herself. So she'd written a thank you card to thank us for making her feel comfortable. She said she doesn't think she would feel comfortable without having the medical students there to sort of, you know, have this chat with her. And it just reinforced so much to me that, you know, as students during the pandemic, we really haven't had an opportunity to feel a part of a team. We often feel in the way, and we haven't had the opportunities to speak to patients. And that really reinforced to us, and to me particularly, what it's all for, and the fact that we can give something to patients, and even though our toolkit is limited, we do have the ability to make a change to a patient's experience. And it also just, it was really nice to understand the impact you have on patients, and just the effort that she went through to, despite being anxious and feeling vulnerable in the pandemic, that she went home, took the time out of her day to write a card and then walk it down back to the surgery, hand deliver it back to the doctor. And that's something that I will cherish for, you know, I'll keep that card for the rest of my career, because I think it's like a token to look back on. And I think that's what I understood from the Schwartz rounds, is that lots of healthcare professionals have these experiences. They have like these little boxes of things, that tokens and things throughout their career that they hold on to and cherish. And I just think it was really, you know, reaffirming.
Thank you so much, Stuart. What a beautiful story, and so you've described it so well, and we've got a real, I think, visual sort of experience of what you described. I love the fact that you talked about a smile, even though we've sort of pictured everybody wearing masks, but yet you can still see that through the mask. And so lovely that it's had such a big impact and lasting impact on you. So thank you so much.